Right. Now, conditional statements in Python, this is how it works. So for example, that I'm always of the I'm always of the habit to teach people what is called pseudocode before I teach people anything that has to do with itself, right? So well, pseudocode is actually something native to software engineers, but it helps you further understand what you want to write. So let's assume you want to say, okay, if Sadia is not, let's assume you don't know the gender of Sadia, right? So you're saying, oh, Sadia should be a man or a woman now. So if Sadia is not a man, then Sadia is a woman. So it's simply just saying, oh, if Sadia, sorry, I used small letter, Sadia this is pseudocode, is male. Okay. Aisha, any issue?
Yes, the case is Google Cloud is present is different from
Can't hear you, sorry.
the case the Google Collab is showing me is different from this one.
Yeah, well, it happens like that sometimes. So for example, I can do this, like new note. You see what will happen now. So this is what I was avoiding, really. So yeah. So is this what it's showing you, right?
Yes, yes, yes. This
Yeah.
one
So
is
this
showing.
is literally Jupyter or Python notebook. You get. So I usually do that because I mean I'm trying to make you understand that you can definitely use anyone you choose to. I mean, regardless of the tool you are using, you are the you are the architect, you are the carpenter, you can use whatever tool you want to manipulate your data. I hope that works, yeah. All right, so let's continue with this. Thanks for giving us that insight. So, so we're saying if Sadia, right? If Sadia is not male, then it means she's female now. It means what? She's female. Which means if Sadia is not male, you will say do female or print female. Now in Python, this is literally what you are going to, which is name equal to, remember, we do declarations, right? We say name equals to what? Sadia. Sorry, monkey fingers. Yeah. And then next thing, you know that once you do name equals to Sadia, obviously this is never going to print anything. So if you now say what? Print what? Print, and then say, sorry, print name. You see it prints what? It prints Sadia. Good. So now what you want to now say is if name equals, sorry, I used capital. That's why it is showing me that error. If name equals here, Sadia, what do? You do print Assalamu alaikum Sadia. So we literally will see what? We literally will see this. And you can see that it says what? Assalamu alaikum Sadia. But now, if the name is not Sadia, let's assume that the name is Amina. Hey, Amina. Of Amina. It won't print anything. It won't print anything. So this is where the conditional comes in and says what? Say else, do what? Else print. Yep. Aisha, your question.
Okay, I just want to make a suggestion that we should you should try to please leave the ones the codes you've written before, probably so that we're able to see
I
what you've
didn't
done
get that.
before and compare it. What I'm saying that is that if you could please leave the codes you've written before and write the next one in another place so that we'll be able to see the difference between what you've written before, the code you've written before, and the new ones.
Okay.
Because it's kind of hard to catch up with what you're doing because you're
Okay.
deleting, you keep deleting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will stop doing that. Okay, so print hi Amina. So in this case, we know that the name is Amina, and we declared that oh, the name should be what? Amina. So if the name is Sadia, print what? Assalamu alaikum Sadia. Probably Amina is no longer a Muslim or something. We don't know. But that's not even our business. The point now is that we want to greet Amina, but hi Amina. If it is not Sadia, right? So we'll run this and we'll see that what the name is Amina. So it says what hi Amina. So literally this is how to do that. So let me do control. Sorry about that. Let me do a new code and start this. I think there's a way to do this, which is control M and control plus M. So it's control plus M B. So, or you can just simply just click on another code, like another cell. It just makes more sense. So now, this is how to run conditional statement. However, if we have different situations whereby the person has, or we have more than one entity or more than one option, right? What if the person is not, what if, what if the person is none of the two, right? So we say name equals to, sorry, name equals to Miche, right? Miche, Miche. And we say if name is Sadia, do this, else do this. No, we won't do else do this in this case. We'll say else if. Say else if. And else if in Python is called elif, right? Say elif, print what? Hi Amina. Elif name equals what? Mina. Mina. Do this. And then we say what? Else. Else. Print. You can see that AI has even printed it for us, right? So we say what? Else print what? Hi, Tumiche. So when we run this, we literally have seen that what? Oh, the name is actually Tumiche. So if we run this, we can literally see that it says what? Hi, Tumiche. So it's program Python runs from what? Top to bottom, right to left. And it says, oh, you said the name is Tumishe. Okay, fine, no problem. If the name is this, okay, fine, I'll do this. The name is this, fine, do this. We can have as much we can have as much arguments. They call these things arguments, right? So we can have as much arguments as possible, right? So let me create another code block and then say something like this. we still say, oh, name is what? Name equals to name equals to, let's say name equals to, name equals to Joshua. Name equals to Joshua. Now we've seen that, oh, the name cannot be Amina again. Then, so if the name is not Amina, let's say Elif, name equals what? It has shown us this again because, okay. Now we try again and say what? Elif, um, Elif, name equals to what? Name equals to John. Yeah, Balkis, you can ask your question.
No, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Please, can you tell us the function of that elif? What does it work for?
Okay. Elif is else if. So if you have like many arguments, do you understand? If you have like many arguments or many scenarios, that is where the elif comes in. So it runs through the options for you so that you could have as much as I'll show you where that works perfectly now. You get. So remember that we've had all these names, right? So we say, hi Joshua, you see where that works perfectly. So let's say let's even call it hi Johnny, right? So name is Joshua. Oh, sorry. Let's say hi Josh. Sorry. Let's say hi Josh. Yeah. Hi Josh. So if I run this, you're literally going to see hi Josh. You see, regardless of the amount of code that we wrote here. So if I come down here and create another code block and say, and literally say this, that, I mean, I copy all of this, but then we want to do something called basic input and basic output. We've done basic output. Our basic output is print this, print that, right? So we want to do basic input now. We want to collect the name of the person involved or name of the user in this case. We can say something like this. We can say name equals to, if I say impute and then it says, oh, you can see AI has already suggested it for us. This is why using an online node code editor also helps to an extent. So when you say, oh, we want to use a code editor of this case, of this magnitude, right? So you can now copy this guy here and copy this guy here. And then I paste here. So if we run this, the first thing that we are going to get is a question prompt. And you can see that this is still loading, which is meaning that, which is showing that our code is heavily dependent on the result of this question. So let's give the name Tumiche, for example, or let's give the name John, because John is like third in the hierarchy of all of this right now. So if I say John, and then I press enter, you're going to see that it literally just says what I done. Instead of going through the process of saying, oh, hi Amina, hi this, hi that, literally just goes up to say what John. If I run this again, and you see that each time I run it, it keeps asking that question, what is your name? So if I come here to say Sadia, is what? And I press enter, it just says what? Assalamu alaikum, Sadia. If I come again to say, instead of saying hi John, maybe John did something to us and we want John to get out. Say get out, John. And then we save it. So if I come here and then I replay this guy, yeah, I interrupted it. So if I come here and replay this guy and I say John, it says get out, John. So I hope I've been able to answer your question about the use of Elif there now.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, walaikum salam.
Please, does it save automatically the input?
Yes, it does save automatically. Yes, it
Okay,
does.
that's
So that is why when I actually clicked on this, so let's assume I want to run this again, and I clicked on this like get away, and then I press save, you will see down there that it's showing save successfully. So this, it could save manually, save automatically, right? But so let me put John again, you will see that it tells me, it gives me an error message that I interrupted it. Oh, well, it has already saved that. So there was no need for an error message. So you can see what the purpose of ELIF is in this case. Now we move on to what is called functions, because as data analysts, you do not necessarily need to know everything about Python. I mean, leave that stress to maybe data scientists or software engineers and all of this. But then as you move on up the ladder as data scientists, you will get to understand, or you will get to learn some of the other major important stuffs for Python. So let's say before, okay, so um before I move on to function, pardon me, before I move on to function, there's something we have to do, which is loops. I literally almost got out of that. So, which is working with loops and conditionals. We've done conditionals. The conditionals are if and else, right? Before we move on to functions and modules, creating reusable code. Now, working with loops. So how do we work with loops? Now, there are two types of loops in Python. We have the for and while loop, right? So we have the for and while loop. For the for loop, let's create a dictionary, right? Let's create a dictionary. Let's say the names of some sisters on this call. Let's say I say a name or some random names generally, right? Then we create a list, right? And create a list and say something like, I hope Amina is not angry that I'm using her name. Hey, Nina, let's see, Aisha, let's see.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Oh, walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Yes, so this is Aminat. I'm not angry.
Okay. Okay. So, let's say, Fatima, let's say, um, let's say Jane. So if I run the names, if I say print, sorry, if I say print, and then I can say print name, and then I'm not looking for I'm not looking for an index somewhere. I just want to print name. And then you see the names get printed out here. So I'm scrolling down now. And then after printing the names here, I want to also do something else. I want to say that for each person, because I'm doing the for loop here, say for name, let's call it for name in name. Yeah, thank you very much, AI. Print um hello, hello, and then let's give it space, and then let's concatenate it. Give it, or we don't even need to concatenate because it's just hello name, right? So hello, and then we put name. In this case, hello name. Let me hope I do not get an error for that. So hello name. So let's run this. You see what happens. So, well, terrible. It is a list, right? So it's literally printed everything for us. So that's not what we want. So for name in, let's see, list name. Let me see if it gives us something different. Oh, still the same. Still the same. Okay. So instead of me creating a list, let me just create and let me just create a, let me give it this. Okay. Solve our headache of mutable or immutable. Did I talk about mutable or immutable? Like you can, mutable means you can change, or immutable means you can't change. Did I talk about that? These are, you can see that it is saving automatically, right? So when I say mutable or immutable, like it means they are changeable or they are unchangeable. And this has to do with the data types, right? Especially lists, dictionaries, sets, and the others. Right. So let's run this and then you see what I am talking about. So it is still stating this. What can I do? What can I do? Okay, where this actually works better is, let's say I create a range. Let's say import, sorry, pardon me, I want to clear the whole code here. Import random. Okay. So if I do something like import random, so if I do something like print random from 1 to 10, you see it randomly prints 1 or 10 or whatever for me. So you see 1, 2, 3, or it randomly prints any number for me. Now, if I say print oh, that random is not going to be needed for this now. But then if I say for X in range, for I in range, let me create a range of 100, but then it's going to be counting for 2 every time it's going to be counting every two steps, right? So let me run that. Okay, sorry. Yes, I didn't give, okay, so I say print I. Yeah, print I. And so it's going to run each of that now. So you can see that it's adding 2 to each, like to each of it, right? Like, so it's going to count from 1 to 100 and then give me, like, it's going to give me instances of, like, it's going to give me intervals of 2. So you see that 1 plus 2, 3, and 2, 5, and 2, 7, and 2, 9. So that's literally what I was expecting it to like do in the other case. But probably I'm not even probably, I actually wrote the code wrongly for that. So you see that it literally ends at what? 99. So this is how for loop works. Now, if you want to see how while loop actually works, let's look at this. So I am saying something like number equal to 10. This thing is actually listening or not. Oh, I'm just joking. Not listening or not. So while loop is while number is greater than or less than 20. While number is less than 20, print oh God. Yeah, you are being number is less than 20. And then you're doing what? Number plus what? Number plus 1. Sorry, number plus 1 equals to what? Number. number. And choose to do that, or choose to do n plus 1, or n plus equals to what? N plus equals to 1. I can choose to do that, or I can choose to do this equals to num plus 1 equals to num. But it's giving me an error. I don't know why. Maybe because of there's a standardized way of writing it now. So just put it this way. I can say num plus. If I say num plus equal to num, it's literally saying that number plus number equals to number. And now if I say num plus this, just keeps adding the number plus 1, keeps adding the number plus 1. So if we run this, you're going to see that, you see, it keeps counting till what? Till 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what if we say number is 100? But then the number is definitely not let's put number is 100. While number is, let's give it a range of, let's give a range of let's not give it a range. All right, I do not want to complicate the code, but then the concept of while loop and for loop, I hope is understood, right? So you can see like the for loop here and then the while loop here. I hope it's understood. Nobody on the call?
It's really not. It's not.
The-
It's not really.
this second part is not clear enough.
Okay. I'll make
I'm not
that.
clear, sir.
So which part are you clear about and which part are you not clear about?
The first part that you call the where look Abi is clear,
Wow.
but this second part, while look, yes.
The first part is for loop.
Yeah, poor
For
look,
loop.
yes, it's clear. But the second part, the while look is not, it's not clear enough.
Yeah, I'll go over it again. I'll go over both of them again. So this is something called comment in Python. Comment. You can comment with hash, and you can comment. This is single line comment, which is I'm writing a for loop in Python. For loop in Python. This is single line comment. So I'm saying, so let's say we have names to be equal to you, Sadia, this. So it will now go in to say what? For names in names, print what? Name. Like for each name here, print a name. Let's run it. Let's see what it does. So you see what it does, right? It says, so it is saying every time I see a name, oh yeah, print that name. Do you get? Please, can we make it interactive? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, you can hear me, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great. So every time I say name, or every time I see a name, I will print that name. So if I say for every name here, let's add another name. Let's say we add Jane. And then for every name, say what? Hi. And then we create this. And then we say hi. You see, it says what? Hi, Sadia. Hi, Amina. Hi, Tumishe. Hi, John. Hi, Jane. So it literally saves you the stress of writing hi in between every time you are checking it, right? So this is while loop. This is for loop rather. This is for loop. Now in the while loop case, so in the while loop case, let me do a multi-line comment in this case. so that you can see this is a multi-line comment to show while. So we're saying that, okay, this is what we want to do. So we know that the name is equal to, let's use Tunde. So we can come to say, while the name is equal to what? Tunde. Ask questions like ask questions like where did you go yesterday? Yeah, Teslim, you can ask your question.
Please, why did you use 2 equals to sign here?
Okay, thank you very much. I was waiting for somebody to ask me that question for a long. So it depends on the programming language that you're using, but this is to show that it is equivalent, like it is absolutely equivalent. What is this is directly equal to this. Do you understand? Do you get? So it means
Yes.
there is no other option. Is the person's name Tunde? Yes, it is Tunde. It is not Tundex. It is not Tundi. It is not small letter Tunde like this. Do you get? Because Python is also very case sensitive. Do you get? So if you see now that while name is Tunde, well, this is a for loop situation or if statement situation. But then you see what while loop does in this case. This will continue printing it. It's going to be nagging at Tunde. But in this case, because we are using a small letter, it's not going to do anything. You see. You see that it didn't do anything. But now if I change it to capital letter and say, okay, while name equals to Tunde, you see that it will keep nagging at Tunde. Yeah, Tunde, where did you go? Where did you go yesterday? Where did you go yesterday? You can see that the loop is still going on. It is not going to stop until we stop it. Do you see that? Can we see that?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So it is literally asking that question. It is continuously asking that question. It is say, it's just like saying, oh, while you are alive, you are going to continue breathing. Or while you breathe, you will be alive. I hope you understand that statement here.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's literally how it works. So now this will lead us to what's called this will lead us to functions. Yeah, I interrupted this here. So I hope that is very clear, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so yep. Let me see what's next. Functions and modules. Okay. We've done loops and conditionals. Zones. Okay, zones. Yeah, Teslim, you can ask your question.
Okay. In a situation, can we use a single equals sign for the while loop?
No, because so you look at it now, for example, say number equal to 20. It is. And then I say while number equal to 20, what should happen? You see that it will not work. See, right?
Yes, sir.
So it won't work. So it is by design of Python to say while number equals to 20, while number equals to 20, do this. So while number equals to 20, do this. So print, I am a data analyst. And then when you run it, it's just going to continue running. You can see it's like it will continue running till the end of time, until your laptop crashes. You get. So it cannot work like a single equal to sign cannot work for that situation. All right.
Okay.
So any other
Wait,
question from anybody
I have
before
another
we
question.
go on a break? Yeah, please ask your question. Yeah.
For the while loop,
Yeah.
it's continuous to print endlessly.
Yes.
It's good to have maybe an input field where you can input the condition. Maybe when you input 20, it continues to print, and after when you change the number, it stops to print or does something else.
Yes, you can actually do that. You can actually do that. There's something called break statement, but that's actually in software engineering, right? But I don't think it's applicable here, but let's see. So if I say name equals Aisha, always brings in the name equals to, and I go forward to say, wow, name is Aisha and num equals norms norm is less than norm is less than, I say norm equal to norm equals to 100. Okay, let's say norm equals to 15. I can say something like this: print Aisha, and then I say norm, right? And then I'll come here to say norm n plus equal to 1, and then I can just put break. You understand? I can just put break if I want to. Like, just put that break later on. So like, and the break is not going to work. It's not going to serve any purpose here other than just to stop this statement. But if I want the break to actually work, I can come here to say, oh, okay, if the number is greater than greater than or greater than or equal to, I can just break it. The number is greater than or equal to 16, and break it. So if I run it here, so you see, sorry, break. My break is outside my indent. Yeah. Okay. Expected an indentation block after if. Okay, good. So why is it not running? Because we've not asked the name, right? So if I put name, let me put, remember Python runs from top to bottom here. And I put something like this on top and say name equals to, then I say compute, then I say what's your name? Yeah. So that's when we can run it. We're literally going to like run this. So let's say name equals to what? Aisha, and then press enter. Oh, sorry. So it's not printing that for me. Let's see. Oh, okay. File number and this equals print this. Nothing more. All right, so this here, let's use another loop example. Let's use another loop example. So our name equals to Aisha. Name equals to okay. So name it Aisha and then break it. Yep. So Aisha and then break. So you can see here that it just stops it, like it just stops it at 1. So if I remove this break sign and then I put this, you see that what? Just going to continue running. Hi Aisha, hi Aisha, hi Aisha. I hope you got what I'm trying to do now. Or what I mean, I hope that answers your question now. Hello, Teslim. Teslim. Okay. This is off the call. But can everybody hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
Yes,
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 yes.
of course.
Yes,
Yes, of
yes, I can.
Yeah, but the question I want to ask there is,
Uh,
if we don't want the Aisha to continue like that,
Yes.
which condition can we introduce to break it? Maybe it's after when your name is after 3 or 4 or 5 or 10. I want it to break, not continue again.
Okay, let me
Which
see
condition
if
I can?
that works. If high if okay, we would have to add a number to it. Like we have to add a number to this like this. So we nest this inside it and say number equal to, or we can say count equals to 1. Count here. Count equals to, and just put count here. So we can say, so for this to happen, I mean, or while this is happening sorry, hold on. All right. So we can say while this is happening, do this. So for each of these that is happening, for let's see, let's give the count of 10, or let's give a count of 15 or 10. So for I in count, right? Print I or print hi Aisha, right? So I'll put it here like this. Sorry, print hi Aisha. So if I would now put it as what? If count is greater than 5. Let's say greater than or equal to 5. What do we do then? What do we do? We now what? Break it. Break it. Otherwise, what do we do? Continue. Otherwise, we continue what? Continue to do what? We continue to do else. We continue to do what? Aim what? Print Aisha. Print hi Aisha. Print hi Aisha. Or it could be some sort of repetition for the code, but then it sure will work. So this is saying indentation error. So this is one of the things that Python is going to be giving you. It's going to be screaming at you big time. So here I have Aisha, right? and I press enter. So it's saying there's a type error. So where's the type error we are having here? So type error is in cell 4, is for I in count. Okay. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is while, oh, sorry, I'm going to do another while loop. Is no, I'm going to actually do the for loop, really. But I'm going to change it to something else. So for I in count this, if why is this happening? If count is greater than 5, or greater than or equal to 5, break. Else means hi Aisha. Let me just put it like this. Let's run it. Name Aisha. Still giving me type error. Yeah, Fatil, please.
Hello, I guess because your this thing is why is giving error is that your conditions are contradictory. You wrote if count is higher than 5, but your count is already higher than 5 in the first place. Your count is 10.
Thank you very much. So let's run that. You see? So you see now. So what if we do less than? See that now. I think it's a type error rather than, so you see, it's a type error. So it's a combination of the for and if here. That's wrong. So it's a combination of the for and if here. That's wrong. I'm trying to put incompatible situations. But there are always ways to do it, actually. I'll write that now. But like I said, this is nothing to do with data science or data, whatever, data analysis. But then, because we just want to see how it works, right? So, in our break period already, hope you know that. So while name equals Aisha, hence this. So while this is this, okay, let's leave it like this. Okay, I declared different things, right? So what I was supposed to do was, while the name is this, do this. Print hi, Aisha. I'm going to say count equals to 0. So what is wrong with this guy? I think I have to put off my Gemini, please. It's disturbing me, guys. I wish I knew how to put it off. Disturbing me big time. So while this, because this, do that. So if count is greater than, or, I mean, if count equals to 10, what do? We break. Break. Is it showing me? Let's give it something. I can break it. So let's say that's all. That's all. And then break. So that's not happening. Break. Okay, so let's run it. Unexpected events. Yep. Alright, so didn't stop. If this is greater than this or equal to 10, I think that's all. So this is where it's supposed to actually stop, right? So our last point, where the last issue right now is the break, right? So if this is greater than this, let's break
Your,
it.
sorry for interrupting, sir.
Yeah,
Your
please
count,
interrupt.
like you are giving a condition, you are not giving a range. You wrote equals to 10, which count is not equals to 10. Like you're supposed greater than or equals to 10, and that gives a range.
Sorry about that. You still see what I'm saying? See, right? So okay, so this is, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. But what I'm sensing is an issue with this. You can see that it's still not working.
You know, okay.
Yeah, so you see. So it's not about, well, let's just move forward from the range. Let's move forward from breaking that. Okay, this is one thing we can do. We can use this guy called Gemini to solve the problem. Thank God it's here. Solve this code. And then we put it like this. And then we press enter. So it's thinking. Yes. So you can see that while loop, blah, 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 blah. So few issues because the name. So there's an unreachable break. Yes. Statement is outside what? The while loop, making it unreachable. So this is where we had the issue, right? So this was what it was expecting us to do. And what did we do here? Well, maybe. Still the same thing here. Well, what I do not understand is, oh, okay, yes, this is the issue here. Print this. Count. So now what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to indent. Yes, the indentation was the issue. Yep, the indentation was the issue. So we've seen how we could use Gemini to solve our code problems here. Sorry, okay. So let's run it, and then we'll see what happens. So Aisha, and then we'll enter. Yes. Thank you for seeing my fumblings. So I hope that's solved, yeah?
Yes, it's great. But you need to please rerun it again.
Okay, no problem. So Aisha, and then enter. So if we do it like this, that's okay. 17, and then we run it. See, it's going to continue Aisha. So you see that the numbers have increased, and then yeah, that's how it is. I hope that answered the question. I don't know who asked that question. Thank you for asking that question.
I'm the one.
Thank you for asking that question. All right. So now
So
the next thing,
hello.
yeah, your question. We are still on break. We are still on break. You can ask.
Okay, so does that mean that Gemini can solve all code problems
It
that
can
one that is
solve,
having issues,
yeah, it can
or the
solve
complex, only the complex ones.
no, it can solve all code problems. One of the major things that I tell people is please do not start using Gemini, right? Because if it wasn't because I knew what I knew what the possible problems would, I'll just copy the code directly from Gemini and paste it here, and I'll still have the same problem, or it would have just solved it automatically for me. Meanwhile, whenever I have that problem in future, I will not know where the problem is. You get? So it is because we understand the concept, the basic concepts. That's why we've been able to use Gemini to help us solve the problem. You get? So it's literally not. It was actually a basic problem. I mean, it's a basic problem that almost everybody gets. But because we understood the syntax of the code, that was why we could solve that problem. So it's not advisable to continuously use Gemini for everything. Use Gemini for problems that are time constraints like that have time constraints.
Please, secondly, is a plea. I don't know if you can give us this. I don't know these codes. I don't know whether is it possible to download and send to us so that
Let
we
me
can use to
see.
practice. Thank
Let
you.
I want to I don't know if I can do that, but let me see. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I can do that. So okay. I don't think I can do that. I don't know how to do that. I've never tried it, so I don't know how to do it. So there's always a tab up front. Let me see if I can do. Control S. All I just know is saving. It's saving here. Oh, okay. This is a session. Yes, yes. I think I can. Yes, I think I can. I can show this. Yes, I can. But I would have to copy the code and save in. I have to save it in a. I have to save it in a file. But then if I save it in that file, you probably not be able to pick it up. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so if you see the code, right, you should just understand that the code starts from anytime you see 1, 2, 3, 4, it's showing the lines of the code. Does that work?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right,
Yes,
no
it's
problem.
great. It's
Thank you.
great.
All right. All right. So please, any other question before we resume back at 11:07? Any other questions? 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 We're about to get into the steeper ones, right? Really, really steeper ones. So the steeper ones include what's called function. Function in Python. So as soon as it's 11:07, we'll start that. So anyone with a question yet? Okay, Balkis, your question.
Yes, please. Are we going to get a recording for the last class anytime soon?
Yes, you will.
All right.
All right. Are you still confused about the last class? Like some concepts in the last class?
Yeah, I missed the last class. I couldn't join.
Oh, sorry about that.
Same year, I also missed the last class. I couldn't join too.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So, yeah, there'll be recordings posted or pasted. I think they're still editing it. There were loads of time wastage in last class. So, I mean, especially because we've started using Anaconda here. So, installation and all of those stuffs are on their own.
Sorry, sir. I wanted to ask this Anaconda. Anaconda the Navigator. I just created an account with them right now. Like, must we download the app or can't we use the web app? Must we download the app on our
You can actually
device?
use the web. You can use the web app. You can use the web app perfectly. Yeah, you can. The reason why I recommended that we use the app is because we can always download or work offline, you know. Sometimes you could be working online and network goes and you lose the progress of what you're doing, right? But then working online and offline is almost the same with Anaconda because you're actually working in the cloud, like you're working with the cloud. So that's just it.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Always welcome. So you can see Anaconda is still showing me errors, and this is one of the reasons why we don't use Anaconda for this class. Okay? Showing me error. Yes, could you write? Yeah, I'm with you. Ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
So my question is, I don't know, like, is there any, like, is it that I offended? Like, I've not been added to the WhatsApp group yet,
I am sorry. I'm
and he asked
absolutely
us to
sorry
send
about
the
that.
number to the mail. I resent that to the mail.
I did add numbers to the mail. So you know what? Right now, send the number to me privately here on the chat so that I can add you myself.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So please grant me there about 3-4 minutes while she sends the number before we start again. I mean before we continue, not start again. Okay, so I'll add you now. Any other person who has not been added to the group? We will be having a capstone project that people can actually post that, yeah, oh my God, these smart people, wow. Okay. Okay, so please give me like 10 more minutes because I am seeing numbers that, well, have not been added. Yes, so yeah, I mean, Kirat, I added you, sent you a, we sent you a link for, we
No,
sent
I
you,
did not receive that. Oh.
wow,
I've been looking for it, like, I've been on it. I
wow.
know you will not be able to add me directly,
So you see,
but I've
right?
been looking for the requests.
Sent you a link actually. I'll send the link again. I'll send the link myself again. All right, hold on. Oh, actually there are like two or three Kudurats, right? So that's why. And one of them happened not to have accepted. So please,
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't you.
Okay. Mhm.
Ima. Fatima, oh, okay. Yep, Chimobi. Chimobi, I'm with you. You can ask your question.
Hello, good
Yep.
morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, since the Anaconda is a kind of a note or a text editor, can I use another notebook, something like that for it?
Yes, yes, you can use online Jupyter. You can use Jupyter Lab online. There's a website for
Okay.
yes. The reason
Now,
why I'm
now,
using the reason why I'm
what I'm
using
trying to say,
Colab,
I have Notepad plus plus. I don't know if that will be okay. Supports
no, don't.
all languages.
Yes, it supports all languages, but it's going to yeah, you can use PyCharm, you can use Notepad plus plus. I sense you're a software engineer, yeah, or you have a
It's
background in
PyCharm, right?
software engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
So it
PyCharm
supports,
will be
yeah, PyCharm will work, all of this will work. However, some people have the tools that they generally use, right? So data analysts always use um they use the Jupyter, they helped you like um it helps you collate all of this data sets together, and it gives you a beautiful environment for that stuff compared to the kind of environment that you'd see software engineers get used to. I mean, software engineering environments are very, very CLI oriented, which is command line interface oriented, right? So that's what that one. But the Jupyter will give you like a bit graphic user interface, like a very good graphic user interface stance.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sorry, please, guys. Um, please just a bit more minutes. I'm almost done with the numbers. Michael, you sent a number. Michael, you sent a number on the group. Like, I don't know the person's full name. Can you like private chat me the person's name? Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's actually my number,
Oh, okay, okay. Please send the person's. Send your full name here with
my
like
full name. Okay, all right. I will do
privately.
that now.
All right, thank you
Okay.
very Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. All right, so that's where I'll stop for now. I mean, you're welcome. Yeah, so let's continue, yeah. Now, I'll continue sharing my screen again. So this was what I was talking about. So if your Anaconda is failing like mine, because it has been failing since, I don't know, and it worked perfectly when I was offline. I mean, not when I was offline. Worked perfectly when I was not on a Zoom call or something. So you can always come here, like you can always come here and type Peter notebook and yeah, leave the site. So Jupyter notebook online. You can use the one online. This is the web one. So you can click on it and once you click on it, you'll be able to see, yep, something like this. Yeah, something like this. So you can work with it from here. So this was what I was telling you about. So you can see all of these things that are right here. So these are some of the things that you will soon start writing. All right. Good. All right. So probably move from collab to who knows. Let's continue. Now, the next one that we want to work on are functions and modules, and then we'll stop here for today. Functions and modules. So how do we do the functions? How do we do the modules? Now, so functions. Functions and modules, am I correct? Functions and modules. Yep. So let's assume that we want to add something. All of us know that, yes, we did maths, we did operators in mathematics. When I mean operators, I'm talking about addition, subtraction, the board maths group, right? So let's assume that we say, we want to do formula for simple interest. Simple interest is S equals to IRT, right? IRT. Am I correct? Nobody's answering. Let's say we want to create area of
I think it's PRT.
PRT, sorry.
Principal rate and time.
Principal rates and time. Thank you very much. Let's say area of a square. I was thinking of doing simple interest, but then I was thinking of the fact that I would have to declare so many things, but then let's start with the simplest one. So area of a what? A circle. So remember, this is going to be a single line comment. And remember, what we are doing is what is called a function. So I want to define a function, right? And I say, this is how we define a function in Python. Area. And then I say array. Area. I do not want to follow Gemini in any way. Then I put what? My R. My R is the major thing that I want to put. And I put what? Semicolon. And then I will come here to say what? Area of a circle is usually what? The area of C is usually equal to what? Pi, let's say pi times what? R raised to power what? By R squared. So we have not declared pi because pi is a mathematical function. So let's put pi outside here and say pi equals to what? 3.14. So, and then we say what? Our R is what? This. Our R is what? Impute. And then we say what? What is wrong with Gemini? Must it answer? Out of this. Right. So what is the radius of the circle? Right. So and then we'll tell it what? Return what? Area of circle. Because area of C is what we used here. So we are going to say return what? Into bracket ARE of what? ARE of C. And we leave it like this. So if we want to run our area of circle, we can now come and say what? Print, and then say what? The area of the circle, which is this one that we declared here. This one that we declared here. Right? Area of circle. Area circle. And then area of circle. And then we put what? R. And leave it like this. Yeah. I don't know. I'm permit me, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But ideology, right? Am I correct?
Yes, ideology.
Yes. So
Um, sorry, I got lost from that DEF.
oh, okay.
Yes, what does it mean?
It means
I
define.
actually okay.
It means define.
That's just the
Yes.
problem. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So you are creating a function. So normally in different programming languages, right, you create functions with different ways. But in Python, you are creating a function by what? Defining the function, how it will run, right? This is literally how it is. So you must be wondering why I put this here. Because in the past, whatever inputs that we have been doing, I have not been putting. You see, like for example, in this place, I did not put int because it is assumed to be what? Literally a string, right? So that is why here, because I want to do a calculation, and I am putting this as what? I'm putting that, um, I'm putting that data type, which is called int. So if I run it here like this, it is literally asking me, what is the radius of what the circle is? So if I say 12 and I press enter, it will calculate what the area of a circle for me. I can go ahead and say something like this and say is, and then I put this again and say and cut this guy and say this, and then concatenate it here with what is called let's say meters. Yes. So if I run it, we're going to see, oh, so what is the area of a circle? So if I say 14, and you literally see that what the area of a circle is what? Then put area of the circle is what is. If I run it again, you literally see that. So, and then I press enter. So area of the circle is this. Same thing would apply to if we are running some other um projects, some other what do they call them? Some other formulas. But now formula is not what we are after. So I'll move on to what is called imputing or importing modules so that we can start doing what is called data analysis. So
Droid.
what? What? Your question? You said something.
No, sorry. Continue.
Okay, great. So in data analysis, especially when you are using Python, the major things that you will be working with is modules, data analytics module. It is very essential. It was very essential for us to cover all of these basics. Otherwise, you would have gotten lost, right? When we are solving those data analytic problems. And in data analysis, there are different modules that Python uses or that we use in Python. One of them is what? Is NumPy. The other is Matplotlib. The other is Pandas. The other is Seaborn. And the other is scikit-learn. Right. So in this case, let us start with what? Let's start with NumPy. Let's start with NumPy. So I will do what? I'll import what? NumPy as, NumPy as NP. So you can literally see that NumPy is even there, like NumPy as NP. So let me see if there's a NumPy. So let me check. Let me even check if there's a NumPy. So I can say NumPy version. I don't think there's a NumPy. But for majorly all oh, okay, sorry about that. Attendance is going to be set very soon. So let me just I'll stop here very soon, don't worry. NumPy do import what? NumPy as what? NP. NumPy as NP. NumPy, sorry. NumPy as NP. Oh, sorry, I put import V. Yeah. So import NumPy as NP. And then after doing that, I can now say something like, well, we want to create an array, right? To say, let's say an array. The first array is there about NP. So you can see that when I say NP, it created an array for me, right? So array, and then the array is like you creating a list of like items. I'll create a list inside, and then I'll start numbering my arrays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if I come here and then I say what? Print ARR. Run it, and then you can see what NumPy does. So it literally just gives us lists back again, the array. Now, there are different types of arrays. Some of us remember how we did matrices. Let me stop share so that I can send the attendance. Okay. Class is not done. The class have not done. Please mute yourself when you're not okay. All right. So the list will be sent. I mean the attendance list or the attendance will be sent now. I just had to stop sharing rather so that I can send the list. Yep. Attendance. All right. So I'll send the link. I'll send the link now. Please endeavor to fill it. Endeavor to fill it. Right. So I'll send it now. Sent. So, sent. All right. So we'll go back to what we were doing. Oh, all right. Sorry, I didn't know I was on the mute. So, Halima, you have a question. Please ask your question.
Also, sorry, my background is different. I want to ask, you use the NumPy. I don't want to maybe show the advertisement out there. What's NumPy used for when you want to?
Okay, so
When you're
like
doing
okay, great. So I talked about the fact that there are like five frameworks or five modules actually. Five modules that are used in data analytics and data science. Five Python modules that are used in data analytics and data science. They are NumPy, Scikit, Seaborn, Pandas, and Matplotlib. These are things that are used in regular statistics. We remember that data analytics is basically statistics representation, right? I mean, you analyzing the statistics that you've got in the presentation and presenting those stats, right? So those are what Scikit, NumPy, Seaborn, and all of those are. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely welcome. So we would also go on to say that remember that sorry, let me go back. Yeah, so we stopped at array, right? Now remember that we click on this. So we've created the array, right? Now let's remember that in maths we're doing some things called matrices or matrices, or what do they call it? So I'm sorry. So matrices or matrices, right? So let's now create ARR. Let's say ARR. So remember that we imported NumPy as NP. Now let's NP dot, we now say what? Array, because we are looking at an array, and then we say this creates the list, and then this. Inside that list, we want to create two different arrays. Or we want to create an array with two different lists, which is what? We create the list one, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then it's separated by a comma, and then create another list. Thankfully, this guy has done it for us. And then what? We print what? Array 2 or R2. And then we can literally see how it separated it for us. Can you see how it separated it for us, right? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes,
So what does this remind you? What does this remind you in mathematics here?
It's a 2 by 2 set matrix.
Thank you very much. So that's literally what it does. So now let's go ahead. Let's push our luck further, yeah, by saying, oh, okay. Now, is it becoming more interesting? Is it becoming more interesting?
Yes.
Yes,
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 so
it is.
Great. I like that. So,
So I have a question.
yeah, please ask your question, yeah.
The first one is, this NumPy
Yes,
is the only step required to import NumPy.
yes. This is the
That's
only
one.
step to import NumPy, yes. It's the only step to import NumPy. But in some cases where you do not have some things installed, right? Maybe you do not have Scikit or Seaborn installed. there is a way to install it inside this notebook. I will show you immediately after this, after I finish this array. Is
Okay.
that fine?
Second, yes. Second question is when on I think line 49 where
Okay.
you imported NumPy.
Yeah.
Without adding this NP,
Yes.
I think you're going to get the same outputs, right?
No, we won't get the same output. The reason, well, we won't actually get the same outputs because this time it is this framework. So there's something called, remember I just talked about function, right? So function, a module is a body of reusable code. So some people have sat down and written all the codes that you'd ever need with different functions to handle all of these things. And they wrote it inside this module called what? NumPy. So every time the module needs to be called, you just call that module and then put what? You can see that when I place it here, it put it as what? Modules, like module of what? NP, right? So some people have already written it there before. So if I now click on this and then click on view source, you will see the amount of code that was written here. You can see that it was written, so it's an array of objects. You can see that. So you can see what they've explained there, right? So they've written all of these codes. So imagine writing all of these codes. Can you see? Would you have sat down to write all of these codes just because you want to handle an array or handle some data types? You can see all of these things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so literally they wrote all of those codes so that as soon as you call this NP, it makes it simple for you to be able to manipulate your data. Hope that covers it.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely welcome. So now we do the array again, 2 and then 3, and here separate with a comma and say, oh, sorry, I did not close this first one. So let me close it. Yeah, so I've closed it. Now we do another one, which is what? Because we are looking at the 3 by 3 this time. Let's say 4, 5, and then 6. And thankfully, this guy is probably listening to us, like I said. And then it says what? 7, 8, 9, and then the array is printed. So if I print ARR, and then, so what kind of matrix does it give us this time?
3 by 3 matrix.
Thank you very much. So in order to fulfill my promise, like I was saying, if the if the module is not installed, in this case, what you are going to do is do something like this. Pip is a module that helps you get everything that has not been installed already on the notebook or in the Python framework or in the Python notebook or in the Python ID. So let's assume we want to install Seaborn. Pip install Seaborn. Let me see if Seaborn is here. Sorry. Import, and then say Seaborn. Oh, there's Seaborn already. Let me see if Matplot like, because it's a data analysis, is a data analysis notebook. So all of these things would have been imported. But let me see if what random framework can I just see? Pygame. Yeah, let's say Pygame. Import Pygame. You see that? Oh, that is also installed. So I guess it's done. But in case you are writing it on this is because we are using a Google Colab. It's on the cloud. So all of these things are already installed. Everything you just need is there. But in case you are writing it in your notebook and you want to install it by yourself, and those things are not installed, you can just do what? Pip install and then you can say pip install. Let me see. Python. You can say Python 3, pip install pandas, something like that. Well, I don't know. It's not going to run here. It's not going to run here somehow because maybe they stopped it or something. So let's see. So in fact, it actually did run. It actually did run. So you are seeing that it says what requirements already was satisfied, which means the NumPy and pandas are already installed here. Let me see a data scraping a data scraping framework that data analysts use, which is Beautiful Soup. Beautiful Soup 4. Beautiful Soup 4. Let me see if it is installed here. So it's already installed. It's already installed. So all of these are already installed. So URL live. Let me see. URL live. So there was no such thing. URL request, live request or something like that. Anyway, so but you see that is how to install it if it is not installed on your computer initially. So I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. So I think we should just stop here for this class today because tomorrow we will start wrangling. Sorry, maybe wrangling data is the no, let's not stop here. Let's not stop here. There's so much that we can do. There's so much that we can do. Let's not stop here. We still have, let's just wait till it's 12 o'clock or something. So yeah, okay. So we've started doing NumPy, we've started creating arrays. Now manipulating arrays and let's do manipulating arrays and creating what? Basic array operations. So we've created arrays. So let's manipulate arrays. Let me delete this block. You can always delete blocks too. So let me create another code block. So in this code block here, I want to do array because we already have array 3, right? So array 3 is already there. But what if I now want to do something? I want to like manipulate the array. So what if I do array dot sum? But I'm not just saying array dot sum, but array dot sum of what? We have an array that we have already created here, up here before. Remember that we did what we back in secondary school, we did addition of matrices, right? Addition of matrices. So let me do an array of array 3, array 2, AR2. Yes. And then let me run it. So it is saying that array sum this. Okay. Okay. Let me clear that guy. So I have exited the code block. Probably that's why. So let me do something called ARR3 dot. If you want to sort it, there's a way to sort it, whatever. That's not what we want to do right now. But let's check what is the maximum number in array in array 3. Maximum number in array 3. But we're still going to get to those ones that it is saying, but then yeah. So let's run it. And then you see. So you can literally see that the maximum number in array 3 is what? Is 9. So assume that we now have a large data set, a very, very large data set. But then in this case, I'm just going on to write 11, 12, 13, create another array. um 14, 15, 16, till like continuously like that. And then we run it, you will still see that it will still what? It will keep running this for us, and then it will still give us what? A maximum number. What if we go on to say, okay, what is the average number in this array, which is the mean, right? The ARR3 dot what? Dot mean. And we do it. If I click on this, and then you can see what the average of this is what? 8.26. Instead of you to carry calculator and start adding, and then dividing by this, you literally have done. So max, array max, array mean. So what if we, any other question? ARR3 dots, let's say, what else? Let's say sum. Sorry. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I want to ask. Hello?
Yep, I'm with you.
Yes, I want to ask, why are we using ARR2, ARR3?
So we declared the array here, right? You remember that? Sorry. Remember that we called in an array here. Starting from this point here, we said what? Import numpy as what? NP, isn't it? Do you get? Are you with me?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, great. And now we called in an array. Remember, we've talked about data types. We've talked about dictionaries, lists, and all of those stuff. So we called in a data type. The data type here is an array that we are working with. And obviously, an array is a list, right? So we are working with that list. List, in this case, we want to make it in form of what? Some sort of matrix that we are going to be working on. And then every time we declare ARR is just a declaration. I can go ahead and say what? PPP. If I say PPP, it's still going to give me the same thing, right? So the ARR is just the name of the array so that we don't get lost, right? Is why we called it what? ARR. So we mentioned the first one. The first array is what? Array 1 or PPP. The second array here is array 2, ARR2. And then the third array, because we are working with third array, because we are working with the third array alone now. That's why we said what? ARR3.
Okay.
You understand now? So I could as well say, I could as well say PPP3, right? And then say, but that's going to take us a lot of work. PPP3, PP, like all of this, right? Do you get now?
Yes, please. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're absolutely welcome. So running all of this would eventually give us what? So the variance of this is this. Hope I've been able to answer that question.
Assalamu
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think this RA3 now.
Yes.
I think it has about 5 conditions, which I think the answer will be 5. Like array, maximum, mean, sum, STD, and variance. I thought it's going to give answer to each condition.
Oh, no. So that is what it was supposed to actually do. But in this case, what it is doing is it is giving like the final answer. Do you understand? That is why. So if I remove this now, and remove this, and remove this, you see that eventually, or I comment on this, let me comment on this, you see that the answer will still remain the same, which is variance. However, if I comment on this guy and then I leave this like this, it will still be what? You see what it does now. It will be 16. I answered your question.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I think what he was trying to say is that can't we make this thing for it to have each answers of each code you're
Yes, we
writing?
can. We can. So if you want to
Yeah.
do that, all you just need to do is print and then this and then put it inside the folder and then inside the parentheses rather, and then print and then this, then put it inside what's the parentheses and then we'll run it and then you see the answers. You can see it right here.
Yes, yes. That was his question. Thank you.
All right, all right. That's answers.
Absolutely welcome, yeah. So I think this is where we'll stop for today. Tomorrow it gets more interesting.
Now, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. So please ask your question.
Now, when you are trying to import to install some application on it,
Yeah, some
it's
modules.
giving us automatically. Yes, it's giving us automatically. So does that mean that this collab, we have the version offline version?
No, we don't have the offline version of Colab. We don't have the offline version of Colab. The version that we have, the online version, the version that we have is Google Colab. You know, all Google applications are actually
Yes, of course.
online. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I hope I've been able to answer that question here.
Yes.
Okay, great. So any other question from anyone? Any other question from anybody? Any other?
Okay.
All right, Chimaobi, please unmute yourself and ask questions. Yeah.
Just one question.
Yeah.
You need the print to give us the max value and the variance or something.
Yeah, the variance.
So we just need to add these two extra brackets. Am I correct?
Yes. So this in themselves are functions that you called. And you remember that we just did functions, yeah?
Yes.
So these are inbuilt functions and methods, right? And this in themselves are arguments. So as soon as we call the function, so whenever a function is in another bracket, it becomes an argument. So we are calling it here that, okay, this is what we want print to print for us. You get? So if we left it like this, like we're probably going to have issues. You can see that we are having issues. Yeah. So we have to always call it inside the bracket.
But initially you didn't put these two extra brackets.
Yeah. I didn't put the two extra brackets because, I didn't literally, I just wanted it to print the last one, which is usually what is a print by default. You get? It's
So we don't
usually
need to
what you see. So Google Colab prints this last one by default. You get? That's right. So because the person said they wanted a way to print everything at the same time, this is why I added the print to it.
Okay. Is it because you are using NumPy? That's why it can print
No,
by default.
it's because I'm using Colab and lately, you know that Python or you know that these programming languages update their syntaxes periodically. So before you may not have been able to print out these things by themselves, right? So for example, if I did this, possibilities are that it will still print. You can see that I printed it out, right? But before you cannot do it unless you what? Unless you do print. Do you get what I'm saying? So it is as a result of updates in programming syntaxes. That's why we are able to do all of those ones, even without using the word print. I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. Any other question here? We still have 5 minutes remaining. till 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And
My question is related to the anaconda.
okay, yeah,
I
please.
think I did a little research and said anaconda is like, should I say, an advance of Python or maybe a collection of Python. And from what you just said now, you said programming language continues to update their
Update,
syntaxes.
yes, update your
Yeah.
syntaxes.
So are you saying for anaconda, what's the if I should write a code and I should use print, it might vary from the one I'm writing on Python or the one I'm writing on Colab also.
No, so that's not what I am saying. So what I am saying is that, so I think you also got the concept of the anaconda wrong, right? So a anaconda is an application that is built on is an application that houses so many, it's an advanced application for data science and data analysis that houses all data analysis and data science applications. It is
Okay.
built on Python. It is built on Python programming language. In fact, Python programming language is not the only one it is built on, but the major programming language that it is used to build or that is used to build that application is Python. Because if you check let me open the Anaconda to you now, you will notice that Anaconda even has an R studio in it, which means you can write R in it. You get.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
R is another programming language entirely, apart from Python. So the Anaconda there, it uses the syntax of the latest Python language, like the latest Python syntax that you're using. So if I come here now, let me hope that I can see the Python syntax that you're using. So Python version, let me see if I can see the Python version that you're using. So there's invalid syntax. So Python version. Let me see if I can see that Python version that you're using. Or I can just use version. Version. Uh, version. Or let me say help. I should be able to use this. Yeah, help. Okay, good. So you can from here you can literally see the Python version that they are using. You see that they are
Yeah.
using a Python version 3.10, right? So all of these things. So and literally the Anaconda that we were using was using the Python version 3.12. It's version 3.12. That's why you notice that it is saying update this, update that, right? So if we come down here, you can see what they used. You see that these people actually use what matplotlib, right? PyPlots,
Yes.
and they imported what NumPy. They imported NumPy here. And then with that, they were able to what plot a graph with scale and whatever, with not just NumPy, but what it's matplotlib. So if we check the language, the programming language that they are using here, I can come here to click on pause, and then you see down here the code that the new stuff. And then if I come and then I run here, you see the difference between all of those. You see the difference between the notebooks now. Collab uses the play immediately here, and online Jupyter uses its own play from the top. You can see that, right?
Yes.
So, and here you can also notice the fact that they are using Python 3.12, which is the latest Python. Meanwhile, Collab is using Python 3.1.10. Do you get it now? So, and
Yes.
it is still allowing all of this, which means if we come here to pick this guy, we come here to this guy, same thing would actually what happen inside what Jupyter. So let me delete this cell, delete this cell, delete this cell, delete, and come here and paste here. You see that they already have NumPy installed. So if it says, oh, cell cannot be blah 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 blah, imputed, whatever. So let me put something like this. Let me say import numpy and see that numpy as what? NP, and then doing this. So let me run this. Cell not executed. It says cell not executed to avoid. Okay, there's another pending input. Submit your pending inputs and try again. Stop that guy, and then the inputs we are running. Then run it. So you can see that it run, right?
Yes.
So you see, so now if I take this guy to out like this and take this guy out like this and then rerun it, you see that it still runs. Can
Yeah.
you see? However, the only problem that we have here is that this one only prints what? Variance, and it doesn't print this guy. You
Max.
see? Yeah, it doesn't print max. So if I come here to say AR and then I comment out this, you will see that it will still print out what? It will print max out. You see that it prints out max as what? The last argument to be printed. However, this one is still there. So if I comment this guy too, and then I print this guy, you see it prints out the array, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily need us to what? Write print this, print that again. But in situations, we just have to get used to using the standard concept that was used to write the code. Otherwise, we might be having issues. For example, some people may be using old versions of the Python language. It has happened a lot of times. And it is going to make you seem incompetent, or it's going to make you lose confidence in yourself. You understand? So when you write the first code, it did not work. Meanwhile, you know that the code that you wrote was correct. You write the second code, it did not work. If the code that you actually wrote, the syntax is correct. But the problem is the syntax that you are using has not been updated in the machine that you're using. So that becomes a problem, and it makes you look probably very incompetent. You understand? So that's what happens in that situation.
Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely welcome. All right, that brings us to the end of today's class.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please don't forget to send it to us, the
No
demo.
problem. Yeah, no
Thank you very
problem.
much.
I'll copy that now. Copy that now.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair.
welcome. Bye.
جزاكم الله خير الجزاء.